Hey, what is going on, everybody? It's Weather with Jonathan here, back again with another weather forecast. And things are ramping up in the U.S. this week, so let's jump straight into the forecast. So let's first start with talking about our severe threat in Texas today and tomorrow. So we have multiple showers and storms today starting to develop, let's say around right now, because they are developing. We have supercells down near the Houston area in Oklahoma and just developing in western Texas. Now look at what happens with these storms as we head out into, let's say here, for example, 7 p.m. We have multiple storms riding along the cold front up here. And then look at all these, okay? This is what's going to be our big tornado producer. All these discrete storms. I mean, look, almost every single storm is discrete. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. We have a lot of discrete storms, and this is what's going to promote our tornado threat. So as we head out into later into the night, this is like 2 a.m. tomorrow, we have a bunch of heavy rain moving across much of Oklahoma. Now watch what happens on the southern side of this. This is just about 1 p.m. and we have multiple discrete storms that are going to be tracking across central Texas. Now this is where we have a big time tornado threat. And look, this is a look at our updraft helicities. This is basically where tornadoes are probably gonna end up forming within let's say just where they're gonna end up forming probably. And this is look, this is tonight. We're probably gonna have definitely some tornadoes form across this entire region of Texas and Oklahoma. So really gotta watch out because multiple hazards are on the table, not just tornadoes, but also wind damage and hail. And guess what? This is a look at later through tonight. A lot of updraft helicity. That means a lot of tornadoes are going to be happening tonight, probably. And then let me see if I can find our 48-hour run and see how much helicity we have and stuff like that. So I'm right here, okay? Look at all that. And this is basically a look at where tornadoes are going to form. And look at this. Now listen, this is where all the tornadoes are probably going to form, but their most favorable environment for tornadoes is right here. And let's just take a look at our significant tornado parameter and our shear in just a minute. But this is our significant tornado parameter for tomorrow with these storms. And look at this. Look at what we have. It is going to be actually insane. We have, and this is no joke, we have just about 18 out of 10 in some places. So we're going to have a lot of tornadoes come out of this potentially. So now listen, I'm not saying this is going to be a big old tornado outbreak. Okay, you guys know this is probably not going to be a tornado outbreak, but I know this is going to be very significant. And look, we have a lot of wind shear to work with right here. This is a lot of wind shear. And if you can see the max right now, it says 122. And just to look at our 850 millibar wind shear, we still have a pretty significant amount. I mean, we have just about 35 knots, so that is actually definitely a lot. So look at our severe weather outlook. And listen, I did not say there wouldn't be severe weather. I said there would. So guess what? The Storm Prediction Center is agreeing with that, and we have a slight risk in place from northern Texas back through southern Texas and southwestern Oklahoma. And then we also have that marginal risk extending from southeastern Colorado to the border of Texas. Now, all hazards are going to be on the table, including hail, tornadoes, and wind. And we do have a little marginal risk down in Florida, so that's going to be pretty significant, but not as significant as Texas. And then this is a look at tomorrow's outlook. And this is our hail outlook for tomorrow. We have a slight risk down here in Florida and an enhanced risk up here in Texas. We have a 15% significant for hail, a 5% tornado probability over the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area. I think that's going to be upgraded to a 10% risk, maybe even with SIG. significant. And then we have a 30% wind risk. Now let's look at our rising temperatures in the west. So today's high in Portland, Oregon, and back through California will be 63 degrees for Portland and 80 to 90 degrees down there in California. But those temperatures only keep rising, and widespread 70s, 80s could be expected across much of the western U.S. And look at this. Thursday is even more miserable. 70s every single place in the west coast. And it could be reaching 70s in the mountains of California, so that's pretty good for snowmelt, but that's not good for floodwaters because of the snowmelt. And then 90 degrees down in California. And Friday is absolutely miserable, okay? I'm saying miserable because it will. It's 80 degrees like everywhere and listen, it's going to feel like 95 degrees for much of these areas. And down there in southern California and southern Arizona, it's going to feel like 110 because it's 100 degrees. So you guys need to be aware of this. If heat exhaustion happens or something like that, or heat stroke happens, you guys need to get a bunch of cold water. They need to drink that, and they need to just kind of get cold water on them. And listen, guess what? The heat is gonna just stick around for a while because it'll finally go get a little knocked out after like this one thing little storm. But listen, latest model run unfortunately is showing another major heat wave. Well, listen, I'm just going to call it a heat wave because of what they've been experiencing up here, but it is going to be very, very warm up here. And listen, if this actually plays out Sunday, May 7th, this is going to be record-breaking heat, like 90 for some areas like Portland, Oregon, Medford. So listen, it does not mean it will happen, but I think the heat will stick around. And like, look, this is Monday, May 8th. It's going to warm up a lot. Now listen, these storms are going to bring cooler weather. I know that. But listen, if that actually shows up on the models the way it's being forecasted, it could be a pretty warm year for us in the West Coast. And listen, the temperature or this climate prediction center is showing above average temperatures for much of the West Coast, colder than average temperatures though for portions of Oregon, Nevada, California, and Arizona, and then a lot colder than average temperatures for the East. Now it's going to be pretty dry in the Northwest for much of the days. Now listen, storms are going to start happening soon though. Storms will start happening, and it's going to get drier in the East and warmer in the East. So we have to pay attention to that in the near future. So thank you guys for coming and watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for the support. I'm sorry I have not been uploading daily. I'm not going to be uploading daily anymore, but still I will upload just about 3 or 4 times a week. So see you guys